I am here at the Brewers Conference, Florida Brewers Guild Conference. We love being here. I've been here every year. And today I am here with Ashley, and you are with
WHC Lab.
And what does WHC Lab do?
So WHC Lab, we're a company based out of Ireland, and we are primarily in dry yeast enzymes, and we do have some liquid strains, but right now in the US, we're just
Yeah.
primarily focusing on dry strains. So that's what
That's awesome.
WHC does.
So we talk a lot about some of the front of the house and how the industry works, but you are literally the sciencey part of the industry, which is a part, if anyone who listens knows, that I know nothing about. So, and I don't want to know. Not that I don't want to know. I'm not in that position where I have to know. But
There's a
so
lot.
it's a lot.
It is a very in-depth.
It is. It is. And I think everyone who gets into that side of the industry, you're so important. And those are stories that aren't told very often because you're kind of in the, it's the background. It's the, the making of it instead of the we call the sexy part, the serving and all that,
The fun part, the drinking it.
Right, the drinking. I'm all down for that part. So what got you into where you're at? Like what brought you into, getting into that side of the industry?
Yeah, so I kind of have a pretty long background that I'll try to sum up.
That's okay.
I come from Fresno State in California, where I got my undergraduate in agricultural business with a minor in enology. So that's the wine side, actually, because
Wow.
California is all wine.
Yes.
I started doing that halfway through my undergrad, and I realized, I want to be in this industry. And I kind of felt like in California, I didn't have the capabilities to go into this industry because you don't really go through life going, I want to be in the beer industry, just because it wasn't normal from where I was from. And I got into the wine and I was like, I want to be in this industry. How do I keep progressing? How do I keep going into this industry that I want to be in? And I got done with my undergraduate and I was like, what am I going to do now? What companies? And I heard of a school called Harriet Watt. They're in Edinburgh, Scotland. Have you heard of them?
No.
Yeah. So I actually just got back I'm almost done completing my master's in brewing and distilling with entrepreneurship. Yes.
And I love, the one thing that we talk about with women in the industry, so many women in the industry have literally high degrees. Like these are, not only are you just getting an undergraduate degree, these are graduate school level, PhD level.
Yeah.
And
there's so much research in the industry too, especially by women.
Yes.
Excuse me. We have some great PhD students that are coming out of Harriet Watt that are currently in there that have just contributed so much to the industry.
That is awesome. And I so love seeing that. So, okay, you wanted to be in the beer industry. What brought you into the industry? Like what was that first, like, this is where I want to be?
So I actually kind of started within the spirits realm. My dad was a huge whiskey connoisseur, as they are.
Nice.
And I just kind of always bonded over that with him.
Yeah.
We'd stay up and just be talking, and while he was, drinking his whiskey. And so that's kind of what piqued my interest. And then as it's actually through school. I actually got to go to a lot of brew day events.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with it because, you can't really make spirits without beer. It's it's the base is the same. And I actually put out a limited edition beer in Edinburgh. That was called Alba Wild. Great product. We got great feedback from it. It was a Scottish pale ale. And through that R&D, through the entire experience from, picking what beer we want to do to all of the R&D, because we had to brew with botanicals. And if you ever brewed with botanicals, it's hard. It's finicky. It's hard to perfect it and get a good product.
Yeah.
And so through that process, and all the beer events in the community that I met, just was like, okay, I want to be in the beer industry.
That is so cool. I always ask everybody, the first craft beer that you ever had, what style was it that you were like, I love this?
Mine was a wheat beer that I had.
I love a wheat beer. So let's put that out there. I am not a lager girl. Wheat beer is my go-to. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Cause I didn't really grow up around craft beer, truthfully. And a lot of people from back home, and it might just be the people I'm talking to, because there is a huge craft beer market in California, obviously.
Of course.
But they were drinking lagers. And so I just didn't really know a lot about it. But the more and more, I feel like there's a beer for everybody. You just have to find it.
Yes.
You have to find.
We have said that on so many episodes
Yeah.
that because people look at craft beer as either these really heavy IPAs or like these really heavy stouts, and they don't see how diverse beer is.
Yes.
There is a beer for everyone. You just haven't found it yet. And I feel that way with wine too. There is a wine for everyone. You just don't see the diversity in it to understand like the little nuances that make it kind of where everyone can find something.
Yeah, and this is why it's like so great that you guys do this stuff to kind of
Yes.
educate people about what kind of beer styles there are,
Right.
and just help people find their
Yes.
niche and what they
Yeah.
like.
Because everyone looks and they're like, you're a woman coming in and they're like, so you want a cider or sour? And it's like, well, no,
Yeah.
but that is
Help me find something that
right.
I might like, and talk to me about what my preferences are
Yeah.
and everything.
No, that is awesome. Okay. So from then to now, have your taste buds changed? Do you diversify a little more?
Oh yeah. Truthfully, I was not a huge beer drinker before even, doing my master's, and throughout that, just being able to try all of the different styles,
Yeah.
I would have never even thought to try something that now I love. And so
Wow.
I can diversify a lot. I love trying new things.
Me
Even
too.
if it's just trying. I'm a big advocate for, I don't need a full pint of something.
I do small pours.
I love to
Yes.
try stuff.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with having a little taster of it,
Yep.
just trying it, because they are really good beers, even if, you don't want to drink a full pint. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm always like, it may not be my personal favorite style, but I love to try them all because like there's so much diversity in even the styles that sometimes it's like, I don't know if I like IPAs, but then all of a sudden you find one that has a hop profile that you love.
Yes.
So I'm all about trying. So I'm on a brewery tour to hit every brewery in the Tampa Bay area by Labor Day.
Awesome.
There's 65 of them. And I go into every single one and go, I just want to try a small pour of your most popular beer.
Yes.
And I don't care what style it is.
But there's a reason it's the most popular.
That's right. There is a reason why everybody loves it, and that's why I want to try it. So I totally get what you're saying, like on that. And now the one thing that we talk about a lot is because you see in the media all the time, the alcohol industry is down, the beer industry is down. How do you feel about the future of beer?
I think that's definitely, we've crossed that point. We've got past the low, and it's only going up. And I feel like the breweries that have made it through the tribulations and trials of what COVID and pre-COVID happened, they're going to stick around and they're going to stay.
Yeah.
And those are tried and true. I feel like a lot of companies that you've probably seen as well are kind of, solidifying and tightening up their production, and even more employees are becoming a one-all for different roles. And, everyone's just trying to save a buck where they can, just because the industry is so expensive, but it's not going anywhere. The media, they say what they say, but I think it's definitely set it out, and we only got blue skies from here.
I feel the same way. Like we actually were having these conversations last night where I feel like the market corrects. And that's when innovation happens.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to see the innovation. I'm so excited to see like more women coming into the industry, diversifying in so many different ways, not only in how we're brewing and stuff, but you're seeing the type of brewer is changing and things like that. So I love that. I'm so excited to have you here. It's been so great talking to you, and I will definitely see you for the next 2 days. And wonderful things, and I will be over by your booth. If someone wanted to look at what you guys are doing and see that kind of the sciencey stuff that they're not getting on my podcast because I suck at it, where would they go find you?
So we are WHC Lab. If you are here at the conference, we are at booth 41. We also got a beer pouring station. So if you'd love to come over, check out some of our products.
Yourself some beer.
Yeah, you can also on Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, I am back. We are still at the Florida Brewers Guild Conference. I'm so excited to be here. And now I am here with Alexa from Beer 30. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. It's been a great trade show so far. Thank you for having us on. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
absolutely. So you are with Beer 30.
Mhm.
Tell me a little bit about that organization.
Yeah, sure. So I'm an account consultant for Beer 30. I've been with them for about 4.5 years now. They're a brewer production software. So we pretty much do data management tracking, everything from grain to glass for all beverage facilities.
That is awesome. Now, I have seen it.
Okay, cool.
So I am a big fan. I know. And you guys, one of the things that I notice is that you are really do kind of cater to, like, there's a lot of small breweries that are like, I can't afford it. I can't do that. We'd love to grow to that level.
Awesome.
But you guys actually do handle some smaller breweries and do have options for smaller breweries also.
Yes, correct. Actually, majority of our market right now are smaller microbreweries. We actually just recently launched Beer 30 Light,
Yeah.
which is a program really for brew teams that are looking to just get the basics, right? Just to try and understand a little bit more about having a source of truth for their data, keeping things clean, making
Right.
things easy. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely been really cool to see how we've integrated in that market too.
Yeah, I love that. That was one of the things that at the last conference last year, I was like, I'm with a really, really small microbrewery. But then when we started talking and I was like, wow, that's awesome. Like, you don't have to be one of the big guys to get this software and let it help you so that you can be more efficient in your growth.
Of course, 100%. I think one of the coolest things also about Brew 30 is the encouragement to scale, right?
Mhm.
So we're there for all that type of support as well. And we've seen breweries start with us and have grown immensely with their production just from being able to have everything really clean and easy. So that's cool too.
That
Yeah.
is awesome. So how did you get involved?
Yeah, so my career in the craft beer industry started almost 10 years ago. I started in front of house at Linwood Brewing Company, the first craft beer brewery out of Miami. I was with them from 2015 to 2018.
Wow,
And
nice.
to work with them, you had to get your beer server Cicerone. You had to
Mhm.
pass that exam. And that was just like a whole mind blowing experience to
Right?
learn about all different types of beers, the process, and everything that went into that. So that went from there. Then I started selling kombucha.
Okay.
So I was like lugging kegs of kombucha in the back of my Honda
Right.
Civic, Tri-County. So that was a cool experience. And then with that combination and just being interested in tech, I took a leap of faith, if you will, and got
Yeah.
into the tech industry. And being with Beer 30 for the past 4.5 years, being able to connect craft, data, and helping others has just been an awesome experience. I'm really happy.
That is awesome. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
So your first craft beer
Yeah.
that got you like, okay, I like this. This is a good product. Do you remember what your first craft beer
Yeah, this is
was?
a founder's porter.
Everybody remembers. You know, some people that are not in the industry are like, oh, people aren't going to remember that, but we do.
Yes.
We remember our first beer experience because it is one of those things that for me, I had that experience and then went like, let me look more and let me look more. And then I fell in love with an industry.
There you go.
So I totally get that.
What was your favorite craft beer?
My first beer. So
first.
yeah. So my first craft beer was actually Cigar City. It was Florida Cracker.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So everyone was like, no, highlight. And now I
Yeah.
could drink a highlight and it's great. But at the time, I didn't have the palate for something that like with the hop
Sure,
profile and
yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cigar City. I'm from the Tampa area, so
Okay.
almost everybody in that, we all have a Cigar City story.
Yep.
So whether you started working there, started drinking there, everybody has a Cigar City story. So that's a Tampa thing. I'm a Tampa girl.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now you get to see the industry from a completely different view.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about, you know, the industry and it going up and it going down and things like that. What do you see for the future of the industry?
Well, I think we're in a great space right now,
I do
you know,
too.
and I'm very, very optimistic and positive about where it's going. There was a lot of, I don't call them rumors because I think there was a lot of stats out there that were getting kind of scary for a lot of people, but we're growing. There's new breweries every year and people are excited to see what's happening. I think now brew teams are getting more creative. It's not just about what they want to make. It's about, what do people want? What does the market want? And it's getting exciting, new ingredients, new portfolios and things like that. So on our end, at least on the Beer 30 side, being able to help those breweries incorporate those different recipes and portfolios are growing their portfolio, if you will. It's been a really cool experience. So I'm very optimistic about where it's going.
I am too. I know that there's, I think the media is selling this scare story about beer and about alcohol and about things like that. But I just see innovation happening.
Yes.
And I think it's exciting.
I do so.
So I think that. Now, are there other things that you're specifically looking forward to in the industry, either in your own career, in the beer 30 space, or just in the industry?
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I mean, in general, now working as a consultant, right? Being able to just see where else we can take this. I mean, at least from the beer 30 perspective, we're in about 24 countries right now. So trying to expand that market has been really something that's exciting for me, and seeing what we could do with that. So
That is super exciting. I did not know that you guys were in that many countries.
Yeah, and it's going back to what you were saying earlier about the focus on the smaller nano breweries and the microbreweries, and like that's what exists out in the market. And it's
Yes. I actually was talking to someone in the industry last night, and we were saying like some of the most American thing you can find, like that American like love story, or like, loving of an industry, is craft beer.
Yes.
Because it is literally like, the quintessential product, and it is literally families and couples that are starting these little microbreweries and nano breweries, and we're seeing a lot of them then become, like with products like yours, really be able to scale up to become that bigger industry kind of standard.
Definitely.
So I love it. And you guys get to see, like, here in Florida, we talk a lot about the laws and the things like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Florida's pretty interesting.
Yeah, because it's an interesting state. But are you seeing other states like kind of really embrace beer culture?
That's a great question. I mean, recently I've actually had a lot of breweries reach out from Kentucky and the Midwest.
Oh,
Yeah, we've actually been exploring that area and understanding kind of what's happening in that state as well. But you're always going to see the heavy hitters: New York, California,
Of
North
course.
Carolina,
Yeah.
Florida as well. But Florida has a lot of those too. I've met a few breweries today here at the trade show that are brand new.
Oh,
Brand
yeah.
new. So it's
Yeah,
cool.
no, I'm a Florida girl by heart. I mean, I was born and raised here, so
Yeah.
like that's
So you
always
said
my
Tampa,
thing.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, awesome,
in the
awesome.
Tampa area.
Cool.
So, but I love to hear like from people that do like you're all over the place, and
Yes.
like how that differs, and how we see some of the states that you normally don't hear about in most industries
Right.
start to really rise up. Like,
Definitely.
I mean, we're here and we're like, everybody talks about Asheville, but if you're in any
course.
other industry, you're not talking about that whole state.
Exactly.
So to see that, like, kind of like that, I think it's amazing. I love beer for the community. I love it for all of it. And I think that we're in one of those markets where the sky's the limit,
Yes.
because it's not just about a beverage. It's about community. It's about building something even bigger than kind of what people expect. So I love that. So if someone wanted to, because we do have a lot of breweries that listen to our show, if someone wanted to follow you and kind of see some of the solutions, where would they find you?
Yeah, I would definitely say even a Google search of just putting in beer 30 software, anything like that. It's BEER30. And yeah, just check us out. And we're on Instagram too at the Fifth Ingredient as well. So, which is data.
Yes.
But yeah, check us out. Happy to chat and talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, and I actually do go on there. I get so much information
Awesome.
from there.
That's
So I
awesome.
totally will say definitely follow them.
Thank you.
Alexa, thank you so much
No,
for
thank you
being
for having me.
on.
Really cool experience. I appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome.
All right.
Thank you. Hello, I am with Carolyn. We are here at the Florida Brewers Guild Conference. It has been so good. We're still before lunch, so this has been going really great. But today I have Carolyn, and Carolyn, you are
I'm with Left Hand Collective. It is Left Hand Brewing, Dry Dock Brewing, and Bootstrap Brewing. So no Florida breweries based in Colorado, but I have worked with a lot of the Florida breweries in the past in my conceptions and along the way.
That is awesome. So did they all start out as separate breweries that kind of came together?
Yes. So we are independent together.
Okay.
So we each keep our own identity. So I'll be Left Hand is most known for the Milk Stout Nitro. Dry Dock's most known for the Apricot Blonde, and Bootstrap, our newest partner, is most known for Insane Rush IPA.
So are you guys all in one location?
So Left Hand is brewing all of the beers currently. We've moved Dry Dock from the original location, which got it started in a home brew shop in Aurora, Colorado. We moved them 15 minutes closer into Denver, and they are now a Dry Dock brewing pub. So they have food, alcohol, and of course beer. And then the Bootstrap, when they just had their 14th anniversary, I think they decided that they would shut down the tasting room and enjoy retirement life, so to speak.
I get that.
So yes, everything now is available to purchase and consume at Left Hand's tasting room and in or the dried out brew pub.
That is awesome. So we've been talking a lot on a lot of our other podcasts and with a lot of my guests today. And we've all been talking about how the industry itself is just innovating. You know, you hear all these bad things in the news. Oh, beer is down, alcohol is down. But what we're seeing is a lot of innovation, which seems to be kind of what you guys are doing there.
Yes, it's the non-competing styles of beers, and again, we're all our own identities.
Right.
Although the Left Hand Collective again just kind of unites us into one family unity, but we will never lose focus on what Left Hand, Dry Dock, and Bootstrap are known for independently.
That is so cool. We're seeing a lot of that here in the Tampa. From the Tampa area, and we're seeing that all over Florida. So I think that's so cool. What got you into the brewery industry?
Oh, I walked into a liquor store when I was 20 going to college and applied for a job, and they said, come back when you're legal. And on my 21st birthday, I walked in and got the job. So I spent 18 years on the retail side of the industry,
Wow.
3 years with that liquor store, and then 15 with another family owned before I joined Florida Microbeverage as a sales rep covering Tallahassee down to Edgewater.
Wow.
Still based in Jacksonville. So wide territory, a lot of amazing brands. And then also it was then acquired by Brown Distributing.
Right.
So I went over that way and my territory got a little smaller, but then during my time there, I was a brand manager, a district manager. So I had a lot of touches and a lot of access to gaining knowledge and again, meeting a lot of Florida breweries. So it was fantastic to be here to see a lot of my friends from years past. And then when Brown pulled out of the territory, I joined Cavalier Distributing and worked my way up to state sales manager. And then Left Hand reached out and here we are.
That is awesome. And that's just such a great history to kind of see how everybody evolves in the industry, which I feel like once you get involved, like you just don't get out because you fall in love.
Yes.
That's definitely what's happened to all of us, all the three of us on the podcast, but we're seeing that so much. Like once you get that little bit, you
it's
fall in love.
Family. Like all of these guys and gals have all become my family over the years. And again, it's great to watch them grow and thrive. And it's heartbreaking when some of them don't.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been a very welcoming community for the last 32 years or however long, beer math is hard. But yeah, no, it's one that I don't know that I would be out of. I don't know what I would do if I was not in this community.
Right.
Yes.
That's cool. I totally get that because honestly, coming from food and beverage, restaurant and bar management, and then the political side of things, and now being in the industry, I really once you get into a community this tight knit, what would you do after that? I just feel like I'm done, retire. That's what you do after.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, and this is a question we ask everybody. Do you remember the first craft beer that you were like, wow, I love this? And what type of beer was it?
I do remember I was managing Browdy's Liquors and I had a Burt Grant's Porter.
Nice. So most people start light and then go, you went.
I was all in. I think I've always been a malty girl.
I love a good malty beer. I'm not a lager girl. I want tons of flavor in what I'm drinking.
I'm a huge coffee fan. I mean, so definitely I think that's kind of where it thrives.
Right.
And obviously milk stout nitro or what we're most known for. And so it's right in my wheelhouse of goodness.
All right. So when you go to a brewery now, do you still go for stouts or do you go for other stuff now too?
I do still go for stouts. Obviously it's 125 degrees feels like currently. So I might have a Pilsner or a lager. But I always find my way back to a stout or a porter.
Yes. Welcome to Florida. We're 4 million degrees outside.
We don't have season, so it's always stout season in my world.
Yeah, no, we don't have seasons. We have super hot and somewhat bearable hot.
Yes.
That's it. It's those two.
Right? And if you can have a cold brew, you can have a milk stout or a porter.
Right.
Yes.
For sure. So obviously we hear a lot about the beer industry in the media and stuff. What is your outlook on the future of beer?
It will always be here. I think I'll say reinventing, but finding ways to connect the up and coming youth into why we do what we do and connect them to the story.
Yes.
And it's all about sharing again, kind of that commitment and love and passion that we feel now, that brought me into this so many years ago. It's keeping that alive. And again, that introduction of sharing what it means to be a part of this community and that there is a beer available for everybody to enjoy.
Yes, we've talked about that so many times, that one of the things that few people know if you're not in the industry is that there are so many types of beers. No matter what your taste is, there is something we can find you. It's just finding that right balance. Also in the wine industry is the same kind of deal. There's so many different kinds. Over the years has been like, what have you seen that you were like, that was so exciting to see, like that innovation? That's okay.
It's taken a long time. I mean, because I've been doing this for so long, it takes a lot now for me to have like a moment like, oh my, that's fantastic, or wow, that was really great. But I still appreciate the love and passion that's going behind whatever. But yeah, it's been a minute since I've had like a wow moment. But I'm just excited for what's to come.
I'm super positive about what's to come, honestly. And I will tell you, because you have not heard any of the other interviews, but everybody's been saying the same thing. I'm super excited to see what happens next. That is the one thing that everybody can kind of say is that, as far as everyone out there, all these studies and all this, you're not here. You're not with us. You don't see, this is where we're all very positive. Like, put out whatever numbers you want. Like, we're good because we know that what the industry is going to be. Yeah. I think that's awesome. So if someone was in Colorado and wanted to come see you, where would they go?
So Left Hand's Tasting Room is at 1265 Boston Avenue, Longmont, Colorado, 80501. And you can have an array of Left Hand beers, the Dry Dock, and the Bootstraps all on tap. We also do offer some spirits and other cocktails for those who don't enjoy a great cold brew.
That is awesome. And we did get to talk over at the Pink Boot Society table, which nobody knows this, which is right next to us. This is literally the most colorful corner of the entire convention. Yes. And I will say, I think the nicest, but no, thank you so much. It was so good talking to you. And I will continue to see you because I'm in the booth right next to you. But thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, it was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Hello, we are still here at the convention. I'm so excited. We're having such a great day. We are about to go to lunch, which is amazing. Yay. And I am here with Liz, and Liz is from Spectrum Packaging.
Correct.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. We're at a beer conference. How can you not be doing great?
How can you not be having a good day when you're surrounded by amazing beer people and beer?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I get it. I love these conferences. So you are with Spectrum Packaging. What does Spectrum Packaging do?
So we do carton packaging. So anything that goes in a box, we make those boxes right here in Orlando, Florida.
Nice.
Yes. And then we have branched out into the beverage industry. So that's why we're at the brewers. It's a tough job, but somebody has to do it, visit breweries and talk to them about their packaging.
I know. It's the hard life, right?
It really is.
I get you. Now, how did you get to become with Spectrum Packaging?
I started off, believe it or not, I was going for my international business degree, and the owner of Spectrum Packaging, Mike Rogers, needed somebody to help him with his books. Unfortunately, his accountant had Alzheimer's and nobody really knew it. So it was a very sad situation. So he asked me to come in and just help him out part-time. So part-time turned into full-time.
Right.
And I like to be around people and I like to be in this kind of atmosphere. So being stuck in an accounting office wasn't really my thing. So then he said, we don't want to lose you. Can you go into sales? So I said, absolutely, 100%. That's how I did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys do packaging for other industries, not just the beer industry.
Correct. Yes.
But is like, how do we match up with the others? Are we more fun?
Way more fun. Yeah. I didn't say that. If any of my other clients are watching this, I didn't say that. You're all very fun. But it's just a more relaxed atmosphere. Yeah. And there's something to be said when you have to walk into a corporate headquarters, and you're buttoned up and all of that. Compared to my last sales call, it was like 4 breweries and I had to go sit down and of course taste their beer because I can't put something in a box if I don't endorse it. So yeah, way more fun.
I love that. I think we're more fun, but I'm a little biased. I've been in the industry a long time. Do you remember your first craft beer? Like what type of beer did you start out with?
Oh, wow. My first craft beer, I would say it was probably an IPA.
You went right in.
I did. I'm always all in everything I do. So if you need somebody for packaging to be all in, I'm your girl.
You're the person to go to.
I know. I really liked the taste of beer. 18 years old was the drinking age at the time. So that's how old I am. But I've always loved the taste of beer, which, I never had to really acquire it. So
I didn't like corporate beer, but then once I started tasting craft beer, I was like, oh, I really do enjoy the product. I just didn't enjoy that side of it. So I totally and I went all in also. It was like stouts and porters.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I love that.
Has your craft beer taste changed over the years?
I like it all. It just really depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
All right. I am here. Hi, it's Kat with the Brew Babes podcast, and I am here at the Florida Brewers Guild Conference, and we're just hanging out, having a great time, and getting to know a little bit of everybody. So tell us all about yourself, my dear Riley.
Hello, my name is Riley. I am with Riptide Brewing. We are in Southwest Florida, Bonita Springs area.
Hell yeah.
So I am the sales manager. So I am in charge of bringing our beers out into different markets such as country clubs, bars, restaurants, into different stores. We're in Trader Joe's as well as we have a few locations of Total Wine that we're in right now.
Congratulations. That's a really big deal. I do sales as well. So I'm very happy to have, how are we doing, Danielle? Good? Yeah. I'm very happy to have another sales girly on the podcast. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Total Wine's a big deal. So
I'm very excited. We actually just did an entire expansion. So we started off just in 5 counties, and recently we have now expanded to the entire state of Florida.
Awesome.
So I'm very excited for that. Hopefully in the near future you'll see us in Publix, but we'll see.
Ooh, Publix. Gotta scooch the guys over on the shelf over there. Yeah. The last time I went to Publix just the other day, and I could not believe the amount of seltzer that I saw compared to craft beer at a Publix. And I was just like, we gotta fix this.
Yeah, I've been noticing that the seltzers are going crazy right now, but I always am a fan of going to the craft section myself. I love supporting the industry in every way possible.
So tell me about Riptides a little bit.
So Riptide, it is a brewery that's been around for about 10 years now. We started off in Naples, moved over to Bonita Springs. It is a woman-owned business, actually. Kim West is our owner. And
shout out to Kim.
Yeah, shout out to Kim. We have such an amazing team. Everyone I work with, Forrest Chandler, Christian Anthony, all of the good guys that I'm working with are absolutely amazing to be on the same team with, honestly.
I love that. When you have a team that when you work together so well, you're cohesive with each other, it just makes work fun.
It really does. Yeah. No, it makes it easy, and it's such a relaxed environment. So any questions are if my ambitions are getting to the best of me and I want to try to do a little bit more, they're very supportive. They're on board with all of it. They're very excited for everything that's going on as far as sales goes. So it's been amazing working there.
So how did you get into beer?
So I actually was a novice fan of craft breweries. I grew up in Bradenton, so I'd pop over to different breweries here and there, Motorworks, Three Daughters, just a few different breweries that are in the surrounding areas. And so my brother at one of these conventions, he met the love of his life, Mary Kate, who is my future sister-in-law.
So cute. She was such a sweetheart too.
Yeah,
so that's awesome.
So she works with AEB Brewing, and so she kind of started talking about how much she loves it, and she had such a passion for it. And I'm like, this is something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I was teaching before. I still love the idea of teaching. It just wasn't the field for me. So I kind of saw Riptide had an opening online. I randomly stumbled upon it. I was like, worst case scenario, they tell me no. And then I got the job.
Worst that could happen. That's right.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm going to just throw my hat into the ring. And
that's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you started drinking beer, your go-to beer was?
That's a hard one. I like switching it up a lot.
You do? Okay.
I do. I will go through phases. Depends on the weather. Depends on my mood. All of it will depend. I'll go from a sour to a wheat ale to a porter. To,
good on you, baby.
Just
good
all
on
over the board.
You don't have a favorite now at all?
For the honestly, season, right now, I will say, and maybe I'm a little biased, but Riptide,
Sell it, girl.
In our tap room, we do have a Dole Whip Sour.
Oh, fantastic.
And it is one of my absolute favorite beers I've ever had.
I bet.
It's so sweet. It's got a little bit of that tang from the pineapple and this milkiness and
the vanilla kind of vibe.
Oh yes, it's amazing. I could drink
that
all
mouth
day
is
long.
watering right now. Yeah. One of my, they're actually unfortunately not around anymore, but one of my favorite breweries, Descent, did a Dole Whip pineapple. Same, I'm sure same concept. But,
Yeah.
Man, it's a vibe. So
I know. And we
it
have
sounds dreamy.
Yeah, our master brewer Horace, he is, I like to call him an evil genius because like he just likes making things that are just a little bit out there with like different types of ingredients and stuff like that. He has a side brewing business that he does, Conjure Brewing. That's also him.
Ooh.
So he makes some of the best beer that I have tasted personally. Again, maybe it's biased, but you know.
Well, that's okay. Well, I'm so glad to talk with you, Riley. Thank you for popping in. And yeah, you can check us out. Obviously, we've got our podcast is on Spotify and Rumble and YouTube and all of that. So
awesome.
We're collecting little snippets for the week today.
Amazing.
Thanks for coming on, girlie.
Of course. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hello, and welcome to Brew Babes podcast. This is Kat Jones, Sapey Beer Babe, and today we have the lovely Miss Tina. And how are you? And how is Honey?
I am doing wonderful. Honey is doing great.
So tell me a little bit about the Florida Brewers Guild brings you out every single year to do sensory. So tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah. So years ago, I know that Coppertail was doing it. I actually attended when Coppertail was teaching.
Cool.
Probably 8 years ago. And back then it was him and Jason Toff, doing taking care of the volunteers and everything that makes it run from behind the scenes.
Right.
And then after that, they asked me to take over because, they didn't, Coppertail didn't want to do it anymore at the time, whoever teaching them. And then what was it? I said, yeah, because I was already doing sensory at Green Bench pretty much every single day.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was doing it as a job every day, but I was also teaching monthly classes for the staff.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so then at first it was Norderquist and Toft, and then it became Paloma, so pretty much even though things have changed hands, the Florida Brewers Guild has always had a sensory
That's true.
class.
As far as long as I've ever, known it to have. So that's awesome.
Yeah, but no, it was fun and it was an honor. I mean, I went to school, got my BSG in chemical engineering from USF, worked at Green Bench in their lab for 8 years, and the combination of the education and the hands-on application, it really adds to the experience you can give people. So you're not just saying diacetyl, but you can say diacetyl is a direct metabolic output from the cell. And not only will I teach you to recognize it, actually Coppertail then donated the spikes this year.
Cool.
And Green Bench donated the beer. So even though I no longer work for Green Bench and Coppertail is no longer teaching it, both companies have been
super
helping
supportive
out
to help you continue to make this happen.
Yeah,
I love that.
it's amazing. And because with Liquid Spikes this year, we were even able to do things on a personal level. So I think I like them better than the little pill spikes.
I've done the pill spikes with you, I think 2 years ago. I don't even remember. They all these things start to blend together, but I've done one with you and it was such a good time. And it was so interesting to learn all of the different things that could go wrong, I guess.
No, exactly. but
to understand how important that is to understand what the issue is and when it's happening.
No, it was good. So somebody couldn't sense it. I could go back by with my micro pipette and add 1 drop per person that raised their hand until they actually got that sensory experience. So this year was a lot more hands-on, having the liquid spikes and a slightly smaller class. But yeah, there are many ways that a beer, there's no reason to put out bad beer. Yeah. With education and sensory, it doesn't need to happen. You should never have diacetyl in your beer left over, because after the yeast are done eating the sugar, and even though it's the diacetyl is a direct metabolic output, but when they're done eating sugar, when there's nothing left available, they will eat their own excrement. So all you have to do is wait. So if diacetyl's still in your beer, you were impatient. And same
to wait.
For H2S. There are 21 amino acids, and 3 of them are sulfur-containing compounds. So
I actually knew that.
Yes.
I did know that because you've taught me that before. I did know that. I'm proud of myself when I get to a moment and I'm like, I did expect that's true. That's awesome.
Yeah. So H2S has a negative 70 Fahrenheit boiling point. So as soon as it's formed, it will blow off. So if you cap it, if you drop temp and cap and package your with H2S still in there, again, you're impatient. Right. And I've even had calls from Arvo. She said, hey, we have H2S in our product. What do we do? I said, bubble it with CO2.
Yeah.
She did, said, done. Now we can package it. And I teach that in the class. So not just H2S smells like egg, but why is it formed? How can you mediate? How can you, like, a lot of things you can even prevent. So that's not one that's preventable. It's going to happen no matter what. But like DMS is a preventable one. Like that happens if you shut the lid during boil. So like, with every single spike, you can say, what is it? So they're not only getting sensor recognition, but how is it formed? What can you do to prevent it? What can you do to fix it after the fact when you can't fix it after the fact?
Yeah.
And then also,
and you just have to pull the beer and you have to say
exactly. Yeah. And then also, where is it acceptable to have low levels and in what beer? And so the course is more than just, like diacetyl butter. It is normally around 20 flavors, and I made sure everyone can taste them. Nobody leaves out actually getting the sensory experience, and they take notes. They know all the steps, how it's formed, how it gets there, how to recognize it, how to get rid of it, if they can get rid of it, and where it's acceptable. So it's more than just sensory, in my opinion. It's a guideline to help a beer company not put out bad beer. It helps to save your reputation. It helps so that the beer community can drink better beer.
And I think from time to time, any brewer or whomever has experience, when you're drinking from the brewery, you're drinking the freshest, best batch, typically it's just been packaged, even if it's a low fill. Like low fills are good. Yeah, right.
Until X date.
Until X date. So I think that a lot of brewers and beer staff get into the habit of drinking their beer fresh as possible.
Yeah.
And then when they go into the market, maybe they're at a sports bar or whatever, their beer's on tap, and then they have it. They're like, this is different.
And again, that could be prevented. So like at Green Bench, when I worked there, we did sensory every month.
Yeah.
It was voluntary. We didn't force anyone to come, but the staff wanted to.
Oh yeah. No, I love this. The staff really is just, that's the culture that they've created, right? But
exactly.
To continued education all the time. It's just a standard there. So
yeah, but we were actually able to help our timeline. So I would take beers from different dates. So I would go to my sensory, Chris would have me keep 6 months worth of cans at a time, but I would keep more. And so I would actually have them in line. I would do a blind tasting and do 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, up to a year. And I would tell the staff, taste these and put them in order by date. And our staff could put them in order by date.
That's amazing. I know another guy who could do that. Eric could tell you. I know Eric from Sweetwater, but at the time he was working for Sweetwater. But he could tell you which batch it was.
Yeah.
Like he could drink his beer and be like, oh, this is April. Like, what?
Yeah. But we know how to recognize what your beer tastes like over time. I mean, we know our dates. Like if you buy a Green Bench beer and it has a quality date, that is the date, because we have tested it on our staff. Like, and also like sometimes not everyone can afford the biggest, best equipment and things like that. But like you can use your sensory, like to know, like with our yeast pitches, we taste all of our yeast before we pitch it. So you can actually tell, like generally me and even Tom Brown that works there can tell the viability within about 10% just by tasting it, because autolysis tastes like a vegetable, tastes like rotten stewed vegetables, And so knowing that taste is equal to death, like when we would go to pitch the yeast and repitch it, like actually so even not only his brewers, so but we use math too after, but like Tom would come to me like, hey, I bet you're going to use kegs 1, 2, and 4, and he's like, keg 5 tastes like a little off, and I was like, yeah, and sure enough, I put it through the microscope, and the one that like he would know tastes a little bit like vegetable. Well, he's like, oh, it tastes like it's like 75%. I'm like, yeah, it came out 72. I'm like, you're right. We're not going to use that one. We're going to use ones at 90%. But crazy. Knowing by taste, and even I've had over 20 different lab students over the time I was there from USF St. Pete Brewing. Yeah. Because Chris is a professor there, so you make them spend it in the lab, and it was cool because I would be go grab any beer off the fermenters, and I could tell you I could tell you the degree Plato, the sugar concentration. Within a couple degree Plato.
I literally love your brain. I love you.
The senses.
I don't even remember. I don't remember when we met. So it was so long ago, but I literally love you so much, and your brain is so beautiful, and it just functions in a way that I can't even comprehend. Fucking fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's if you love something, you put your focus into it, and you shouldn't do. I mean, not everyone's as lucky as us to do things that we love. That's almost a decade.
We're lucky bitches. We really are.
Seriously, yes, all the math and science and stuff, that's cool. But Chris mainly ran his brewery on not just all that, but the sensory aspect. We wouldn't package a beer until it was tasted. You have to taste it, make sure the DMS and the H2S are gone. Yeah. Like that was like the thing was I would graph it and make sure, because all beer follows a negative log graph in its fermentation. A healthy pitch will always follow a negative log graph if you do the sugar concentration over time. So when it hits the bottom of that negative log graph, that's when we would start doing the tasting for the diacetyl and the H2S, because those are the last things to go, and they go after the main portion of fermentation is gone. So but from the yeast pitch to the packaging, we use sensory to run that lab along with everything else.
So important.
Yeah.
You're so inspiring to me. Honestly, you need your own podcast.
I don't know. I prefer math. I had a beer, that's why I'm talking to people. But like put me in a lab by myself.
I love that. I love it. Well, it has been a treat having you. I hope that you
so
enjoy your
honor.
conference experience. I'm always re-inspired at conference, and it's because of conversations like these. So
hey, I love seeing you. You brighten my day.
Yeah, same. Hug. That's
all right. Bye. There we go.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah,